And Mr. Sterling Oddo, and excited to hear what he's got to say.
Thank you, Tony. And I'll tell you, welcome to the Oneida Public Library. It's a state-of-the-art facility. It's a place where great things happen here. And I want to thank Colleen for her efforts in bringing this all together. She's responsible for setting this all up and helping me set up the photos. And Colleen, I'm proud to call you my friend. Thank you. Okay, oops, turn it off here. Test, here on the back. Okay, I'm going to start off with my background first to share with you where I came from and what I do. I grew up in Syracuse, New York, in a home with 5 siblings, a mom and a dad. It was a wonderful time to be alive, and I had a maternal grandmother that used to take trips with my grandfather across the country. She used to use a little camera, and as you came in, you'll see a little camera on display there. That was a camera that my grandmother engaged into taking photos. So it's a pretty neat deal right there. That when my grandmother would get done with a trip, she'd come to the house and bring up her screen, she'd pull it up, and she'd get her little Kodak slide projector, and she would show us photos of her trips. And it was like I was traveling with her through the photos, and that really impacted my life. I was thrilled to death. So I went to my grandmother and said, I want to do that. She handed me the camera, and she goes, here you go at it. So I got all excited. As soon as I got home, I went to the local store, bought a roll of film for 25 cents, loaded the camera, and went out and tried to take pictures. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was having fun. And it took a while to develop a skill with that camera, because that camera had no settings on it. It was a black and white, and if you tried taking the picture indoors, it was black, the way it came out. So I learned that fast after the first roll. But anyways, going outside, taking pictures of the pets and stuff like that, and scenery, it worked out very well. And we have a lot of beautiful scenery in Madison and Oneida County, and when you came in, if you looked at the photos, you'll see a lot of those areas, and they're probably familiar to you if you've been there. And during COVID, that was a real hard time for me because I had to be seriously locked down. I couldn't go anywhere or do anything due to a serious health condition, and my oncologist told me that if you catch COVID, you're going to die. That's it. And I said, okay. So my wife, Mary Jean Bialis, did a wonderful thing, keep me locked down. and I thank you for that. And she didn't go out either. She said, I'm not bringing anything home to you to harm you. And I thanked her. Thank you again. But we were both going stir crazy at the time through COVID. So what ended up happening was, she came to me one day, I'm sitting in the lazy boy recliner. She goes, get up, get your coat on, get your fanny in the car. And I go, what's going on? And then she goes, we're going for a drive. I go, where? She goes, does it matter? And I said, nope, we're out of the house, good. So she goes, make sure you have your camera, and you're gonna go out and you take some photos. Do what you do best, take photos. And I said, okay. So you look in the hallway, you see a lot of the photos that we've taken around the area. And I'll tell you, we've got a beautiful area that we live in Oneida and Madison County. It's absolutely beautiful. For instance, like Sylvan Beach, Verona Beach, the Pumpkin Farm in Clockville, the canal trails, another treasure we've got in the area. We've got farms and barns. And speaking of that, I took one photo of a barn. We were traveling down the road, and it was a hill going down into a valley, and there was this beautiful old barn painted red on the left-hand side. The sun was just starting to set. And Mary Jean goes, get a picture of that barn. So I said, okay. So I pulled over, or she pulled over, locked up the brakes, scared me, no. And what ended up happening was I took a picture of the photo, I posted on my site on Facebook. Within a week, I get a response on Facebook, that's my barn. And I go, good, okay. And she goes, my son's homesick. He's serving in the U.S. Armed Forces in Afghanistan. and they'd like to get a picture of the farm. So I gave it to her. Destiny Mall, eagles and cranes and seagulls. You know, it's a beautiful thing. The Oneida area is rich in history. We've taken Victorian portraits of people at the mansion or the cottage lawn. We dress them up in Victorian clothing. And I make the picture look like it's sepia, like an antique photo, and people just loved it. And we had Japanese students that came in through Oneida High School, and Mary Jean says, "You need to come and take some photos of these guys, we'll dress them up." I said, okay. So we dressed them up, took pictures, gave them each one a photo, and they loved it. They loved it. And the thing about photos, they affect other people, and they also impact me in good ways. I mean, I love giving the photos away to people that can impact their lives. We turned around and we were on our way to Binghamton one time for a family get-together. And Mary Jean's driving, Miss Daisy I call her, and everybody knows that's her name, Miss Daisy. Was driving down the road and she sees a horse on the side of a hill surrounded by trees changing color, windmills in the background. She goes, "You got to get that picture." Lock up the brakes again, you know, and get out of the car. I take a picture of the horse, and the next time we were going down to Binghamton, we stopped by that farmhouse. And I went in, knocked on the door, and gave her an 8x10 copy of that photo. I go, "This is a gift from me to you." She goes, "Why?" And I go, "Because you've got beautiful scenery here, and I wanted to make sure to give it to you to thank you." She goes, "You're not trying to sell me anything?" I go, no, I just want to give you a picture, you know? So her response was, "This was my daughter's horse." And she wanted to give the photo to her daughter, and I said, "You can do whatever you want." Which is awesome. And like Destiny Mall with the eagles, there's like 50 eagles, big birds flying around. And if you ever get a chance, go behind Destiny Mall, and you'll see them in the trees, and they got a pathway as you go on the other side on Harbor Drive, as you go around. They got an opening, just pull in there, and they got a blacktop walkway right into the eagles, and they're flying right above you, sitting in the trees. I mean, you've seen some of the pictures out here of the eagles. They were right out there waiting to get their picture taken. It was pretty exciting stuff. And of course, this area is rich in historical things as well. I mean, in Sherrill, New York, they celebrate 9/11. They remember. They haven't forgotten. And I've taken lots of pictures of the flags, multiple flags around the gazebo. It's a beautiful thing. It just makes you appreciate what you have. And I've been to many Civil War reenactments, taking photos. Gettysburg was probably my favorite, walking through the cemetery, taking photos there. It just hits you hard when you imagine what actually took place there. And of course, also the parades we have in the area to honor our heroes, the firefighters, the police, all these guys, you know, put their lives on the line for us. And of course, Mother Nature's magic. Sunrises, sunsets, and then the moon comes up. I mean, it's perfect. You get the camera out and you take shots, and I'll tell you, it's amazing. The weather guys on Channel 9, Jim Teskey and Johnny D. Pasquale, love the photos. They've been displaying them on the weather. They show them for different storms and stuff when they come in. It's a lot of fun to do that. And sorry. Like I say, photos impact so many. It allows me to give back to the community by doing what I do. Weddings. There's nothing like giving a photo to the mother of the bride and she starts crying. You know it really impacted her. And I got a mother here that I did that for. And it's a wonderful thing, you know? And you take photos of families, get-togethers and stuff like that. They're just photos at that time, but when that family member passes away, they become treasures, something that you hold close. They bring back memories to you, which is awesome. And I was asked by Wanderers Rest to take some photos of some of the pups looking for forever homes. Well, some of the photos are out there, and a lot of those pups got adopted, which is awesome. Mission accomplished, I guess. And the photos impact people in many ways I never expected. We had a lady at the Oneida craft show up here at Cottage Lawn. Lady came in, and she had a little boy. He was probably about 5 years old. He had one lazy eye that was going sideways like this. And he grabbed his mother around the leg, and they wouldn't let go. When she walked, he dragged with him, right? So she came up to me and she goes, "Excuse me, sir, is there any way you could take a picture of my son and myself dressed up in Victorian clothing?" And I said, "Absolutely." She goes, "Can I pick out the picture?" And I said, "Well, normally no, but you know what? This is your lucky day. It's going to happen." So we took the picture, processed it, and I printed 2 copies, and I slipped it in the bag and handed it to her. And then a minute later, she goes, "Sir, you made a mistake." I go, "Made a mistake? What do you mean?" She goes, "There's 2 photos in here, and I only paid for 1. And I said, "Well, let me tell you something. Get other photos for your son. When he gets older, give it to him and tell him you love him." She started crying. Mary Jean started crying. And then I had an allergy attack. It's unbelievable, you know? But like I say, photos can really impact you in many ways. And then, of course, I've got the photos over here on the wall that I colorized. And Gloria, thank you for the opportunity to do your church. That was an old photo, and I had the opportunity to colorize it and then bring them back to life. You know, it's awesome. And the things that I've learned over the years through photography was lighting, how to frame a picture naturally using nature, use bushes and trees and grass and create like a frame. And then you take the photo. I've learned different digital techniques with the software like Photoshop and Lightroom. Does anybody here know that there's a software you can have on your phone? It's called Sun Tracker. You download it, and if you know it's going to be a clear night, and you know it's going to be a full moon, and you want to get the best picture ever, you add it to your phone, push the button. It shows you the path of the moon, what time of day, and where it's at. So you go out with a camera, you find an old barn or something like that, you line up, you take a picture, you know where the moon's going to be, you set up your tripod, you sit there and you wait. No guessing. So this technology is awesome. Or the golden hour. Is anybody familiar with the golden hour? That's a time, just as the sun's going to set, everything turns golden, you know, which is awesome. It really enhances the colors and stuff like that. And I've taken advantage of that. I mean, Miss Daisy here remembers me saying, "Come on, it's getting ready to be the golden hour. Let's go." You know? We get in the car, she drives me around, and we find an area where we can take a nice shot of the sunset and stuff like that, and it really pops. And speaking of photos popping, there's a hint for you. If you have a digital camera or an SLR camera, and you want to take photos of like a fall scene with the leaves changing color, put your camera on cloudy mode. You'll be surprised. The colors will just pop right out at you. It's crazy. I learned that from one of the other pros. And it works. So, the other thing too is it's an honor to be recognized by photographers and organizations. Anybody watches Channel 9, you've probably seen a couple of my photos show up now and then. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to say how many. I just lost track. But we got Central New York photography, and also I got exhibits across the state. The one picture out here with the drum that's flipped upside down, over here on the right-hand side, the drum's colorized, that's in the War College of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Good friend who works there, and one of the professors, I gave him the photo, he said, "It's going to hang in my office." So what an honor. So at this time, we're going to start this. So step back take in the beauty. God provides the scenery. I just push the button. And that's the truth. God does all the heavy lifting. I just push a button. And here's some photos for you to enjoy. This is for the Euchers, this song. We truly do live in a beautiful area.
I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do. They're really saying I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful
Let's go, Oneida. So these are the visions through my lens. I want to thank you for coming out tonight and let me share with you. Thank you. So please grab some desserts. They're over here. They're all fat-free. Just shake them. The fat will come out. It's all good. So just thank you, everybody. I really mean it.